So, politics right now. Politics, conflict, polarization, disagreeing, and so much black and white thinking and survival mode happening due to conflict and things and war, and there's so much going on. It's overwhelming. So many people are so affected, so many people are dying, people are they're afraid for their lives. I can only come to the conclusion that as a whole, humanity as a whole is potentially experiencing this rift and this divide so intensely so that we can finally come to some sort of unification. I have to believe that. I just really think that, I mean, when we look at nature, even anytime there's disaster and even death, and not that I'm promoting this at all, but I'm just saying to give people some sense of hope or solace of some kind, that there is growth and renewal and birth, and I just have to believe that that's where, yeah, buddy, I know, that's what we are headed towards. I know others would say, well, we're headed towards, complete and utter destruction and the end of humanity, or the end of so many, whatever. And in some ways, maybe that is true. But even in the state of combustion, things still don't cease to exist. We know that, scientifically speaking. So my hope is that with the conflict and the horrific shit we're dealing with right now, while it's put many people in a state of survival mode, I just have to believe that there's no other, we can't stay there forever. Something will eventually happen to bring us together as one. Something will shift, and I do feel like something is shifting and changing. It's just, we're also experiencing the worst of the worst. It's like, feels like it's getting worse and worse. And I think that, again, like I said, sometimes that happens throughout the process of existence in general, so that something new can come forth. So hold on. So just hang in there. Hold on. I know it's complicated. I know conversations with loved ones is complicated. I know, but I think that that's important because it forces us to realize that things are not so black and white. There is a middle ground. There's a gray area. You can't really attach to one thing or the other right now. There's so much, there's so many challenges to our thinking, and I think that's really important, because the other thing that I'm noticing is that, so relating this to spirituality, when we try to attach to any thought and and identify with it, it comes to our demise. It only leads to insecurity, or it leaves us essentially kind of tunnel vision and missing out on other things. So with that understanding and kind of recognizing that, I mean, this is why we have practices like meditation, and I know this is going to sound so like trite in considering what's going on, what I've just been talking about, but stay with me. So we learn that thoughts, right, in order to kind of master the mind, you have to let go of it. You have to let go of this idea of self, because that's not self. It's an idea. We have to let go of attachment to things and the judgment of thoughts and the judgment of things in general, because that's not only not what you are, but that only leads to the attachment is what dismisses other things that you could actually be missing out on. So in that lesson, I think it's kind of like the universe, where it's like we're all kind of going through that together in a bigger way. Like when we come back to politics and we come back to society, and the way to like step out of that survival mode, instead of saying, you know, this is good and this is bad. We're kind of left in this situation right now where like we're hearing different sides of stories, and it's becoming difficult to like, you know, it's this way and it's only this way, because it's really not that ever anyways. So there has to be more understanding and more compassion and more but the way to get there, I think, is to not lean so hard one way or the other. It's to be more open. And it's challenging. And it challenges those ideas. But I think that is possibly where we need to be as a whole. I think this might be where we finally learn to grow compassion for one another and really hear each other, instead of just immediately judging. And that's not to say to not have discernment and understanding what's right and wrong, but just to maybe have more understanding for why certain things have happened the way they have. I don't know. I'm trying here. We're just in a very interesting time. That's all I have to say.